Hello, my name is Lareme Fessler, and I feel privileged today to be able to share with you a little bit about my experience with the UM. I was introduced to the UM in a way that probably many of you were introduced to the UM. A friend of mine after class one day came up to me and started to share with me some of these new scientific discoveries. We talked about rocks and how they form. We talked about dinosaurs and when they roamed the earth. We talked about fossils and how they were made. We even talked about the physical evidence of a worldwide flood that covered the whole earth and not just a certain part of it. We talked about a lot of things that day and the days following that. I questioned him. But it was interesting to me because with every question I asked him, he had an answer. And it all made sense. He even shared with me that these new scientific discoveries had physical, observable evidence to back them up. You see, as a boy, I loved science. But as I grew older, the more I learned about science, the more theoretical it became to me. And it was about a year after I was introduced to the UM, I was introduced to the author of the UM, Dean Sessions. And he gave me a few of the chapters to read for myself so that I could learn about these new scientific discoveries. I became exhilarated. I became excited. I loved science, and I love science now. It kindled a new fire in me about learning truth about nature. I've learned more truth about nature in these last several years from the UM than I have in my whole life. I've written down a few of these new discoveries and things that I've learned from the UM. There are hundreds of new scientific discoveries and extraordinary claims, but I've just written down a few. I've learned about the study of tree ring dating, which is called dendrochronology, how rocks and fossils are made, where most of the craters on the moon came from, and it wasn't from asteroids crashing into the moon's surface. I learned where low and high pressure systems come from, what the volume of water is when turned into steam. I've learned what the difference between a theory and a natural law is. I've learned that the continents are floating on a liquid, and it isn't what scientists are teaching us. That no one has ever observed magma. I've learned what the difference between magma and lava is. I've learned that a new rock cycle is needed, that a totally new class of rocks is needed, that we don't have a magnetic field surrounding the earth. There is a field, but it's not a magnetic field. I've learned that there is a connection between earthquakes and weather. And the list goes on. I still live my life as a husband, as a father. I still go to work every day. I still have my hobbies, one of which is training for and running marathons. But how I view the world around me and my daily life has totally changed. The more truth I learn about nature, the more my life improves. I could tell you that the more you learn about these new scientific discoveries and truth about nature, that your life will improve as well. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let you discover that for yourself.